How's it going, everybody? This is Novakast, back with well, some more of Destiny 2, continuing the Season of the Haunted. Really excited. So without further delay, let's well, get right into this. So our next mission is travel to the underbelly of Leviathan with Zavala to perform the ritual of severance. And it's the severance of grief. So this will be fun. Alright, let's go. Alright. Back to the moon, back to Leviathan. Back to this place that is a haunted house wannabe.
The second severance is at hand. We proceed as you wish, Commander. But whatever you hear, you must press forward.
Understood. Thank you, Lyris.
Set your amplifiers. Sever Callus's connection. And tread carefully.
I see your new protege, Zavala. I wonder, have you told them what became of the last warrior you trained?
No shit. Don't listen, Zavala. There we go. Alright. Let me through. Okay. Okay. Should be over here.
Amplifier online. I'm detecting the commanders as well. As we learned with Crow, these devices will help, but our success hinges on resolving Zavala's inner demons. We cannot do this for him, but we can stand with him.
Guardian, how can you trust Zavala when you keep secret the life he led before the city? I knew him before he was your commander. When he was young and boastful, we used to sit together, listening to the cicadas. He listens to them sometimes still.
They remind me of what I lost.
Focus, Zavala.
I am.
Why do you leave our names unspoken? Do the memories of that time pain you so much?
Alright, now go up this. Beat them overhead with the wrench. Okay, so I need to go over here. Over here. Jumping on the boxes. Jumping over here. Onto this. Climb over here. Just climbing. Doing my thing. Alright, now I got two. Oh, son of a bitch. I lost the wrench, didn't I? It's over there. Damn it. I wish I moved a little bit faster than this. Come on. Son of a bitch. So, okay, so I have to inch my way. There we go.
Security lockdown lifted across all nearby bulkheads. You are clear to proceed.
No shit. Ooh.
Aden, come in.
We are with you.
I was ambushed by Scorn and horror I couldn't bring down. I couldn't reach you.
He is shaken. Zavala, tell them you are afraid. Confide in them. Why hide your feelings?
It doesn't matter how I feel.
Yes, it does.
That is why you will fail. You put your duty before your heart.
The phantoms trapped in this fetid hull sustain something that is growing. Zavala's nightmare is a part of it, but each amplifier further isolates her presence from Callus's hold.
Shit. Son of a bitch. Ah! God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it.
Stay with me a little longer. Life moved on around us, but we can wait here for a moment.
You chose to move when you could have stayed.
Safi,
Don't. You have made your choice.
Go on ahead. I'll find my own way.
No, we should be almost there. Almost done, anyway.
Final amplifier set. I must be seeing things. The Scorn are wearing... Impossible. The House of Devils is gone.
Your eyes deceive you. Don't be fooled. You've reached the Severance site, Commander. The Guardian is closing on your position.
The brave Zavala holds his offering in clenched fingers, afraid to lose the pain he has kept close for so long.
It's all I have left.
You hoard our memory like a starving animal hoards bones, and call that reverence.
I mourned. I begged for your forgiveness. What more can I do?
Speak our names. Release us.
I will say this one is not as bad as the Crow mission. Nope, wait.
Guardian.
Let's do this.
You said you mourned our deaths, Zavala. Stood at our graves, cried out in prayer to your traveler.
For a long time.
What good did it do? No ghosts found us. Instead, the traveler gave the light to your enemies.
It's not that simple.
It is that simple. That abandoner deserves your duty more than me, more than our son. It is why you left us both to die alone.
Don't use him like that. I chose you. I tried to give it away.
You killed him, as much as the Fallen did. You wove your gallantry into his bones. My son's killers should meet.
Okay. Okay. Come on.
Manifests from the harvester.
There we go. God damn it. Come on.
away from me!
Strength, Zavala. See through your guilt.
Again, my butt handed to me. Freaking. I am so getting my butt royally plastered. Yeah. Shit. There we go. Shit. Come on. Man, I'm freaking getting my butt chewed. Oh, come on. What am I doing? I like turned around for a second. What the heck? Come on. Come on. God damn it. I'm getting my friggin' butt chewed. Ah, son of a bitch. Enough of this. Oh my gosh.
He still carries blame. We cannot proceed until he finds forgiveness.
Forgiveness? You share meals with fallen behind your walls after what they took. This new life dishonors your old one. It dishonors your son.
Hakim.
Your true family wouldn't torment you. This is your grief, Zavala.
My husband is not a liar, and I am speaking his words. He knows what he is.
A hollow man leading others to die. For a silent god.
Enough. Guardian, bring the commander back before any more damage is done.
Travel to the tower. Check in on Zavala. Alright, let's go. Yeah, let's go.
Pegasus was...
Oops. I was checking my phone and I had a TikTok. Apparently talking about the different projects that were referenced to things in the Marvel Universe.
Hi there. Check.
Okay.
First trades in goods we've been hard supply.
Let's go ahead and talk to Zavala.
A hollow man, leading others to die. For a silent god. Is that what I've become? Have the years whittled away my nerve? I was convinced that seeing her might make things easier. That her absence cuts deeper than her presence. But they are equally sharp. Sophia. She wants me to speak her name. To confide my feelings in you. What good does it do? Go and see Eris. I'll tell her you come in. You know what to say.
All right. Alright, let's go ahead and head to the tower. Or head to the helm, I should say. Oh, I have to approach her. Let's see.
It should have been me. I could have died for something I believed in.
You lack the self-awareness to know what you believe in.
Well,
Your mind is a storm of guilt, both your own and someone else's. We put a gun in your hand and told you who we wanted you to be. And now you're struggling to reconcile a lifetime of Aldrin Sov's experience with only a few years of your own. We all die a final death. You're yours was not meant to be today.
I was wrong about you, Saladin. I'm so sorry.
I respect you for sticking to your convictions, but let this be another lesson. Doing what you believe is right, as you have, as I have, doesn't absolve you from the consequences of those actions. Someone must always pay the price.
Exactly. Okay, so let's approach. Oh.
Zavala will not speak to you of his regrets. But I will not let him bear them alone. Here, listen closely. Whispers and confessions as I have heard them. He would tell it differently. But memory clings so loosely to the truth. I will share what I know. Before the Vanguard, before the city, there was a woman. Her name was Sophia, and she was a surgeon. She came to Lord Saladin's gates, offering her skills in exchange for shelter. Zavala was his protege then. He had been taught his purpose, and he followed it without question. She maddened him. He infuriated her. But respect grew to admiration, and admiration to love. Does it surprise you that Zavala loved?
To a lot of people.
She was meticulous and gentle, strong-willed, stubborn, fearless. It began with an infant, orphaned in a fallen raid. Saladin had taught Zavala duty, war, and the light. But Sophia showed him that he was more than an instrument of violence. She had one life, and she would share it with him. They called the boy Hakim. And he called Zavala father. In his joy, Zavala thought to abandon the light, as he had abandoned Saladin's ways. That joy ended as it began, with their son. When Hakim followed his father into battle, Zavala could not protect him, and Sophia could not save him. Hakim died in his mother's arms. Zavala wanted her forgiveness, but she knew there was nothing to forgive. And that giving up the light would be no absolution for him. They returned to the lives they once led. She found love again. She had a daughter. And when Sophia passed, he asked her to forgive him. Through each generation, he mourned. He asked for their forgiveness. And still, he has not found it.
It's so freaking sad. But again, I feel like they did this to kind of humanize the character a little bit more. Alright, we gotta speak with Ferris. Because to an extent, I mean, for the longest time, a lot of people did not like characters like Zavala or Ikora. The only one that was actually interesting of the three, you know, they unfortunately killed off, which a lot of people were upset about.
Hey, Commander. How you holding up?
I've been better. Sounds like you have too.
Yeah. Pretty tore up inside.
Any little thing sets me off. Might have said some hurtful stuff to somebody who didn't deserve it.
We've all been at our worst. When we're hurt, when we're afraid. We all fall apart.
Feels like I'm held together by duct tape and spit lately.
The last few weeks have opened up some old wounds. Reminded me of important people I've lost. My wife, my son.
Yeah. I know that kind of hurt. Other way around, though. I still think about my folks, but I can't really remember their voices anymore.
I can't remember Hakeem's voice either. I try so hard.
You want to tell me about him? Your wife?
Someday. Not today. Not yet.
Want some company down in your office anyway? We don't have to talk. Maybe we just sit.
I'd like that. Thank you, Amanda.
Ain't nothing. It's what family does.
I love these audio logs, especially for this season.
Zavala's wounds run deeper than he allows us to see. The lengths he has gone to cut himself off from his heart is familiar. It is through accepting what we cannot change where we find the strength to move forward. We grieve, we move, and we grow. Zavala only knows grief. But perhaps there is hope in others, in the council of friends and family. There is no running from his truth any longer. The past is laid bare, and so too the commander's heart. Resume your patrols aboard the Leviathan, Guardian, and I will see what can be done elsewhere.
Okay.
We begin again, with fresh eyes and open hearts. I believe the commander has found the strength he needs. So too must we marshal ourselves for the task ahead, for there is more at stake here. As time progresses, Callus's hold on the lunar pyramid grows in strength. For each connection we have severed, the remaining grows stronger. The nightmares only increase in number, and soon I fear they will overflow from the Leviathan and spread across the system. Zavala is ready to face his past again. Collect the necessary reagents for the next ritual and join him on the Leviathan. We cannot afford to fail again.
Okay. Alright. So that's our next thing. We have to bind, we have to bind more materials. So go ahead, go. I'm gonna go to orbit. And I think for now, we've been kind of really pushing it through the ranks for our character. So let's go ahead and we gotta head back to the underbelly of the Leviathan. Close to level 60 for this mission, too.
Eris, what happens to her if we succeed?
That is unclear. I'm sorry.
My love is still afraid to let me go. The Traveler called you all from your graves to be broken over and over again. An endless sacrifice. But that is not my purpose. Let me rest.
Come on. Hello.
As the underbelly succumbs to this transformation, it has begun to elicit a constant subsonic frequency.
Is Callus doing this to the ship?
Through the pyramid, yes. It is breaking the Leviathan's bones to reset them elsewhere.
So he is not so different from your god. From the god of our son's murderers.
The Traveler is not my god.
It is said broken bones heal stronger than before, but this is a lie. They are forever weakened. Was Hakim's death a breakage to reset you under the Traveler's watch? Am I the weakness you carry forever?
The lockdown is lifted. Prepare yourself for whatever we've unleashed.
Okay. Oh, come back here. No. No, don't run. Don't run. Oh, shit. Son of a bitch. Alright, let's get rid of the rest of the scorn in this area.
Zavala sees Hakim's face in these phantoms. And in you,
I want to see him. I close my eyes, but they're only flashes. I try to remember him exactly as he was. I try.
I see his face too. Anemic and choked. Fear and pain I cannot stop. Then nothing. And I am alone.
Forgive me.
frequency you isolated. It's almost like a voice, muddled in the dissonant churn between Pyramid and Leviathan. It's resonating through Phantom and Nightmare alike, manipulating their psychic connection to the darkness. It must end.
Okay.
We can remember why we lived our life without hating why we lost it.
I hate my son's murderers. The god they followed. That it has taken you too.
That's not fair.
Live with your decisions. That and duty are all you have to produce.
I'll set this amplifier guardian and meet you ahead.
Everything's alright, dude.
All amplifiers broadcasting. Isolation complete. Now there's only the severance. Zavala is ready, Guardian. See to your side of things, and we will prevail.
Okay. I just realized... Oh, never mind. I guess I cached it. Yeah, because I thought I had a prime engram, but I guess I cached it. Or maybe I didn't.
I've reached the site, preparing the harvester.
This mission won't bring you the peace you desire. Your devotion to the Traveler rewards you only with war and death. Never peace.
I'm not doing this for the Traveler. I'm doing it for you.
Your hands are pressed against a wound to staunch bleeding. It steals through your fingers. You are soaked in it. I knew when to let go. When to wash the blood from my hands. Do you?
Alright, place banner. Okay.
Guardian.
How many pawns has the Traveler sacrificed to conscript Commander Zavala into its service? When it leaves you too, will you become like the Fallen?
Guardians stand for more than the Traveler. We make our own fate.
Okay. No shit.
Dreadful blade manifests from the harvester.
Let's do this. I am the Reaper. Tear and mutilate. Oh, there she is. There they is, I should say.
Don't let up, Guardian. Be brave.
Almost there.
Dreadful blade manifests from the harvester.
Oh, come on. Okay, it's getting crazy. We need to clear out the cannon fodder. Alright, final stretch, people. And there we go.
I wish I could step back into that life. Or that you could step into mine.
What would I do with this broken man you've become?
You teach me to heal again. We'd watch our scars fade together. Safi? There's so much. The years have made apologies lose their meaning. But I am sorry.
You can only apologize for something that is your fault. Hakim wouldn't want to see you mourn. He'd want his father to be proud of his courage, as I am proud of yours.
Hakim should know his father feels nothing but pride. That's why I trusted him to protect you. You've given me a lot to consider about where I put my faith.
Analyzing the whims of a silent god? You'll mold those thoughts over into dust. There's not always an answer. Let go and rest.
Yesterday I was too tired to rest. Today, Safi, Hakim, I'll find you in my dreams. I'm glad it was you standing with me.
Zavala should be commended. It is not easy to forgive one's own regrets. Another thread frays between Pyramid and Leviathan, Guardian. And yet I feel the next will test us most of all.
Yep. Because it's one that wasn't unfortunately one that wasn't taking part into this particular thing. I guess I know what I'm doing when I, next time I go to the tower. Alright. Need to go to the helm. Alright, there we go.
When I first saw Sophia return as a nightmare, I was afraid. I didn't want her to reveal what I'd done. I did everything I could to save Hakim. I can accept that now. But back then, guilt, like gravity, warps our perception of what is real. His death carved out a place in me. And everyone I lose under my command only compounds that feeling. Sophia knew that. She understood that losing him only pushed me further toward being a guardian. She knew that I couldn't stand by and watch the world burn. Because in her own way, neither could she. After everything we faced aboard the Leviathan, I'm left to wonder, have I made the right choices? I don't regret all the good the city has done, or that I was a part of it. But what it took to get here, what it's taken to keep it. Our minds weren't meant for this many years. Like so many other things, we have a word for eternity, without the capacity to comprehend what it actually means. When is enough? Enough. Maybe it's time to let go.
Alright.
Conquering one's demons is a noble task. There are many stories of Cabal heroes who did the same. Now, they live forever as legends.
I don't want to be a legend, Kettle.
Too late. Even we have stories about the great Commander Zavala. Only we do not call him that.
And you need something else.
This is not a formal communication. This is private reckoning. One warrior to another.
I see. I fought countless battles where my life was on the line. Won and lost them. Nothing like this. Never as hard.
As I told your crow once, battles fought in the theater of the mind and heart are just as brutal as ones fought with flesh and bone. We all bear our scars, victories, defeats. Some openly with pride, some others hidden away beneath layers of shameful armor. This battle was the most honest of your risen life. You won.
I don't feel like I've won any battles. I just feel tired and old.
And yet, you still stand.
Alright, now we have to worry about Keitel.
It is done. Another of Callus's connections to the lunar pyramid is severed. We are poised to strike the final blow. And yet, I find myself unable to enjoy this success. It has come too easily. Only one connection remains to the lunar pyramid, and Callus has barely reacted. There is a piece of his agenda that we cannot yet see. I know it. To be this close and still feel as though it is but a mirage is infuriating. I will find the answer to our final severance. For now, continue your exploration of the Leviathan. Any piece of information, no matter how small, could change everything. The Leviathan's corruption spreads like a plague. Even as we succeed, Callus's influence strengthens. I had thought his presence at the moon was fascination. He has always been an explorer of the unknown, A researcher of malign intent but boundless curiosity. But this feels different. If Callus's experiments in communing with the darkness aboard the Glycon was a theory, what we see here and aboard the Leviathan is that theory put into practice. Keitel has observed Crow and Zavala's successes from afar. She wishes to help us sever Callus's connection to the pyramid by confronting the nightmare of Dominus Gaul. He haunts her relentlessly, as Aldrin haunted Crow, as Sophia haunted Zavala. But Keitel was not bound with us. There is no certainty a ritual would succeed. I have advised her to remain aboard her flagship for now. In the meantime, we continue our preparations while I look for another solution. I will contact you soon.
I think there was more dialogue, wasn't there?
Greetings, Guardian. I come bearing enlightening news. Bracchus Forge has earned himself quite a reputation among the Cabal. Within his first 3 days aboard my ship, he was challenged to 6 rites of proving. He prevailed in them all. One of those challenges came from an officer on my war council. Bracchus Forge defeated him with a single thunderous blow. As is our custom, he was promoted to Valis for his courage. He has also started a version of the Iron Banner aboard my flagship, at my request. There were many volunteers for his training. He calls his legionaries Iron War Beasts. We have much to learn from one another, and Valis Forge is an excellent ambassador. I dare say he even likes it here. And if a human can ascend to the rank of Valis in such a short time, imagine what the future holds. May we all live long enough to find out.
Okay. Alright, should probably head to the tower real quick. I gotta deal with that too. So alright.
Hello, Guardian. Welcome.
Gonna get rid of that. There we go. Okay. Quickly head over to this way.
What do you need?
The loom awaits, Guardian.
Okay. There we go.
Hello again. Your synthweave. Such garishness.
Alright, let's go over here. Talk to Drifter, because although I've accumulated... Actually, no. Hold on. Maybe I have a chance to... No, never mind. Okay, as I'm recording this, I am,
You're looking. It's the chosen one. Slay any hive
Did I get
gods
something?
lately.
Ooh. Nice. Well, I'm gonna cash those in.
Yeah. That was made for you.
Good thing I'm already using Void.
That was made for you.
I want to quickly look at this guy's room. Or office? Sure, let's go with that. Alright, so we gotta head back up real quick. Oh, shoot. Okay, there we go.
Let's do business.
Head back up there real quick. And, see what we get. I can say right now, though, whatever I get will help, as we progress to the end of this for the Titan, whatever we get could possibly be, you know, useful for our, one of our characters. That, of course, being, well, the Warlock for the next,
What cipher
you know,
is
set.
this?
Okay, let's head to orbit. So... Alright, there we go.
Attention, Vanguard. I have been patient. I have listened to your warnings and kept my landing parties from raiding the Leviathan. But still, Callus eludes your guardians, and the nightmare of Gaul continues to hang over my head. My patience has its limits. Gaul is the last, our only remaining opposition, and Callus cannot hide. Your ritual only requires I defeat the Dominus's nightmare. So be it. Do not interfere, Guardian. I am Cabal, and this conquest is mine to claim. There must be a proving, an acceptance from the old ways. So, as a gladiator entering an arena, I issue my challenge. Dominus, are you listening? I aim to finish what we began all those years ago. You won't stop me. Gaul, I challenge you. In the depths of my father's tomb, we do battle.
Okay. Alright, let's quickly... Nothing there. Alright, let's go. I think this is where I can finally face off against the one that's been chasing us, the indestructible Cabal, where I can burn it to death.
Eris, have you pinpointed Keitel's position?
No. But I have inserted the Guardian near her drop pod's breach point. We will find her. I'll keep you informed of the situation as it develops.
Move quickly. She may be in danger.
There we go. Oh, crap.
What are you doing, Guardian? This conquest is mine. Fight Callus's loyalists alongside my soldiers if you must, but do not assist me.
Tell me the Vanguard does not hold your reins, Keitel.
Without the binding, you are vulnerable. At least wait for the Guardian.
She disrespects their own.
My throne cannot be challenged by what we were, or what others want us to be. There is one Cabal. All others will submit or fall. I'm ready for you.
No crap. Alright, over here.
Kaido was not bound with us. Amplifiers may not help her. Our time is better served making sure she isn't killed. The Hammer of Proving, commemorating Gauls joining the Red Legion.
Your Gaul is a monster, but mine is a legend. A pit fighter who climbed the Red Legion, then led an armada to shatter the last city. Proof that fate could be defied and brought to submit. I thought I could do that.
But you didn't. You brought words instead of fire.
I was taught to hone my mind.
But Gaul taught you your mind was a weapon.
Wait, I thought I destroyed that. The fuck? Oh. Oh, come on. Okay, this is where we incinerate the bastard.
I thought I'd beaten Callus' softness from you.
My shield held the line as our people evacuated Torobatl. My shield!
You retreated. Death before dishonor, Keitel. You used to know that.
Okay, if I remember correctly, I need to go this way. He's chasing after me. There we go.
Turbines halting. The Severance site is not far, and now the way is open. Go. Cabal pride be damned.
The Lightspawn ignores your commands. They have forgotten Cabal dominance.
You are mine, Dominus. But if they wish to see you beaten, I won't deny them.
Bring the Guardian then. I will gladly remind them what fear feels like.
Get on with it. In my youth, I watched you cut your way to the top of the fighting pits, like a bloodied idol. I thought you were magnificent.
What did you learn watching me rise?
Tenacity, ruthlessness, guile. The same crude tools the Hive brought to our home.
Tools you cast away when desperation drove you to beg. You grovel to our enemies for protection, like calluses gorged aristocrats when the coup crashed on their doors.
Your way proved inadequate to save our people. How can you not see that?
I see our home burning under your banner. Weakness runs in your blood. I will show you myself.
And here we go. Crap.
manifests from the Harvester.
What's taking so long?
Keep to your task.
Okay, this is going a lot faster since last time. Okay, Dreadful Blade. Come on. Feed me your power. Yes! Embrace the darkness.
Conquer this system. Go, exiled curse! Go, broke the traveler's will! You have squandered my victories with your ineptitude. You're not the Kaito I trained. She was feared as a star pilot, dreaded with a cleaver, a warrior. Where is she?
She died, smoldering in the ashes of Torbottle. Your lessons with her.
Then that is where she will stay.
Kaito, without the binding ritual, it is as I feared. We must abandon this.
I don't need a hive-tainted witch to explain my failure.
Then I won't.
Jeez. Alright, next mission. Heirs request your presence on the moon. Alright, we're gonna head there. You know what? I want to talk about this because in one of the previous videos, I kind of went on a little tirade or rant, so to speak, about deviation and some of the missions, or at least some of the missions so far when it comes to the bonding rituals being kind of repetitive. I noticed that there was especially with the previous season, there was a mission like this where we deviate a little bit from what's going on, and instead of like repeatedly doing the same thing over and over and over again, you make a kind of brief detour to something, doing something different.
Let us begin.
Okay. Erismore greets you with a grim demeanor. Guardian, if Kaito cannot complete her severance, we must find another way forward. In the meantime, Eris looks past you at the point, or to a point in the darkness or distance. Sorrow's harbor is again teeming with nightmares. The Leviathan is to blame, but intelligence suggests that Callus has a more direct influence than I previously assumed. It would appear he is reaching out to the witnesses other denizens on the moon, and the hive weave rituals beneath the lunar surface to accommodate him. You will find them preparing such a ritual in the sector known as K1 Revelation. Eris' focus snaps back to you. Zivu Araf's forces will hold much of this place, despite the Lucent Brood's attempts to usurp them. You'll no doubt encounter their warriors attempting to block your path. I imagine in your path they won't remain obstacles for long. Find out what foul schemes Kalos intends to hatch, and if we can manipulate it for our own purpose. Okay, so
Approach me slowly.
let's go ahead and fast travel there. Alright, it should take us long to take out these guys. Oh, that's right, it's on the other side. Making short work out of some of these enemies. Oh crap. There we go. Alright, let's do this.
is quelled. Buried in the screams of its death throes lies a call to the pyramid. Callus must have used the relic in this place as a focusing point in lieu of the connections we've severed to the Pyramid Guardian.
Okay. Alright, almost there. Okay. Wait, did I fuck up? That is a cool shot.
Callus's loyalists. Egregore spores line their esophagus. They are freshly dead. Empty. I see now. Their lives were forfeit, spent as a cost to ferry Callus's mind across a vast distance, and hasten ingress to the pyramid. Our foe is desperate. But that means our plan is working. I must speak with Keitel. Return to me.
That would be the helm. Yep. Alright, let's go. Alright. Sweet, I got a Prime Engram. Which I'll check out later. First.
Lord, would your ritual have prevented my failure?
Now you seek the counsel of a hive-tainted witch.
Do you revel in your foresight? Do you delight in witnessing my shame?
I offered you my support. That offer remains. Know that this failure does not define you, Kaido.
You will address me as Empress.
You are not a crown. You do this for yourself, not for the Cabal.
I am the Cabal.
No, you are a woman with a burden, as I was.
There can be no such distinction. Torobatl lies in ashes. From my ranks rise traitors and spies. My incompetence threatens the future of my people. There is no quarter for failure.
You speak Gaul's words. They erode the truth. What is your nightmare? An expectation you must shed like dead skin. What will remain when you do so?
I do not know.
Then you must look past your shame and say, I am more.
Very well. Prepare your ritual.
It awaits.
Okay.
Callus knew exactly what he was doing, goading his daughter into striking out on her own, manipulating her. But there is a silver lining to this cloud. The information you retrieved on the moon has proven to be the final piece of Callus's puzzle. It is no mere curiosity that drew him to the lunar pyramid. He is a consciousness that spreads out like a vascular system. And he is attempting to become one with the pyramid, so that he may control it. So that he may wield its power. Worse, it appears as though Callus is not doing so of his own volition. He is doing it at the behest of another, our true enemy. The voice in the darkness. The witness. You must return to the Leviathan, Guardian. Continue your work there while I prepare a ritual to add the Empress to our bond.
Okay.
We stand at the precipice of victory. There is but one final link that remains between Callus and the pyramid, and we are ready to strike at it. Kaido has been brought into our ritual bond. She is now prepared to confront the nightmare of Gaul and undo her father's work. However, by my estimates, Callus has already infiltrated the paracausal matrix of the lunar pyramid. The dark below groans and churns with excitement at this revelation. Emanations from the lunar pyramid whisper a singular psychic demand to all who can perceive it. Rejoice. Callus is overconfident, and we must take advantage. Go, return to the Leviathan and prepare.
So now we gotta... Yep. Yeah, let me see. Alright. So we gotta do the next Severance mission. Should be fun. Let's do this.
Keitel will arrive shortly.
Drop pod breach successful. The ship has turned rancid. The Leviathan's transformation is a spreading miasma. When we stop here, take the engines, Guardian. I ascend another path, but I will see this through with you.
Come to challenge me again. The beaten always do.
Alright, let's get over here.
Stagnation. Now you are Gatekeeper's list for world lost, not Aden. They speak of what once was, and no longer of what could be. Is this the new cabal we've envisioned?
We've built human scribes conjuring purpose for us. Futures that never came to pass. Theirs is the buzzing of insects caught in turbulent winds. When the wind shifts, so will they.
Plant your amplifier and do not linger in the spores longer than you must. The interference has returned, more complex than before. Something language adjacent, but familiar. A translation of a translation.
I have offered gold and power and so much more, and still you deny me. Good. Every bond you sever, every piece of my fleshy hull you store, paints a worthier tale, crowned by the friend. A display of my enormity. Immortalized by those who resisted. Individuals are defined by what we are not, after all. Unfortunately, this duality we are partners in is short-lived. Soon, I will grow beyond such small ideas as conflict. Until then, I will savor our time together.
Okay. Let's move.
Your edge alignment was poor.
Guardian.
Titan, dispatch this light storm and send its head back to the city.
Valence! You are a weak imitation of the Gaul I knew.
I am limited only by your weak imagination.
I will find you at the end.
You stand with the Traveler's puppet against me? You have grown fat from weakness, drunk on their patronage.
You demanded I rule in your shadow. With the Vanguard, I stand equal. The Cabal stand equal.
The Cabal will die alongside them. A desperate ember fading against the dark.
Just because you can't imagine a future beyond yourself, Dominus, doesn't mean there isn't one.
Okay, like before. Oh shit, I don't have that yet. Ah, damn it, I forgot. Is he following me? Okay, he is. He's following me. Shit. God damn it, not again. Fuck!
The interference is a voice. I've heard it whispered through the tree of silver wings on Io and beneath the ice of Europa, but it does not speak to us. This connection must be severed.
Okay, come on. He's fall. Okay, still falling. Okay, good. Burn, sucker!
Stand turbines offline. The final severance awaits. With Kaido bound to the crown. Together, we cannot fail.
They are using the Cabal. Using you. The Empire is cattle flesh between the city and their enemies. They will let every last one of us die to save themselves.
They have proven otherwise. I do not fear our enemies. The light is at our back, and we are the Cabal. We eat the mountains. We drink the seas. Let them come.
There you go. Thanks, buddies. Optis, Lucius, Coalition Ally, Brachus, Lume, Valparfas. Okay. Thanks, guys. I'll take it from here.
Get on with it.
Let's do this.
Best me, Kaido. That's why I left you to hold my throne.
I was fighting with weapons you gave me. Now, I wield my own.
Do this.
Manifests from the Harvester.
Here we go.
rests from the Harvester.
Crush him with your light, as the Traveler did!
Oh, we will. We almost got it. There we go.
You are nothing more than a child playing, Empress. You lack my drive and your father's vision.
The old ways are dead, Dominus. I forged a new cabal in my image. It does not require your approval.
I see you, Kettle. I see your new cabal pulled from the jaws of extinction. surpass me. I attempted to subdue the light and burn for it. But you wield it on your war council. What conquest is more deserving?
You still don't understand. It wasn't conquest. It was compromise. An act your traditions never would have allowed.
You have finally grown beyond the prescriptions of your idols. Despite my legend, Call is flesh. His words are only words. Like yours.
There is a difference. Mine are better.
There we go.
Was that it then? If Deadman and Sanctimony are all Callus has to threaten me, he might as well turn the Leviathan around and run.
All right. I guess let's head over to the helm. Let's see. Alright, nothing there. So let's go over here.
It is strange. What we are to those around us, and what we are not. The Dominus was a hero to my people. Self-made and defiant. He inspired many, but the Leviathan's trickeries allowed me to see Gaul as the Vanguard did. Dangerous, relentless, cruel. Those were qualities I embodied to survive Callus's interpretation of fatherhood. They kindled in me a stifling reliance on self, on action, and nothing else. Most of all, Cabal wished to be seen, Our conquests recognized and ratified by the shockwaves they send through the Empire. The impact we leave. But an endless war in pursuit of glory leaves only ashes. When I am gone, it won't be the impact of my conquests that shape the Empire. Instead, it will be the quiet of peace in the company of allies. Well fought, Guardian.
Oh, wow. Alright, let's speak to Eris. Actually, before we talk to Eris, we got 3 of the spirits we need.
Eris told me what happened. How are you?
Tired and old.
But do you feel like a legend, Kettle?
I will break you in half, small man.
I can't imagine it was easy. That confrontation after all this time. Mine wasn't.
You are not mistaken. I know what Ghoul is to your people. A symbol of death, ruthless ambition. But he was so much more than that to me. He was an idol, an inspiration to all Cabal. Even though he was born to a low station, he rose. How he rose. I was blinded by the light of his accomplishments. Unable to see the man inside. Unable to see his self-aggrandizing corruption. I refused to believe he was as much like my father as he was. It repulses me how much I still feel for them both. In spite of everything they became.
It's hard to challenge your idols. Even harder to make the decision that you will be different. But then you look back on your life, your own mistakes, and you wonder how you'll be judged when all is said and done. I'll never know Gaul as you did there. But I know you, Cuddle. I see.
That is all anyone can ask for. To be seen as they are.
There we go. Alright.
Victory sits before us, and yet it feels strangely hollow. We have severed what should be the final connection to the pyramid, and yet there is no reaction from the Leviathan, no reaction from Callus, and the lunar pyramid's psychic emanations are quiet. I cannot help but feel as though we have not weathered the storm, but merely stepped into its eye. The nightmares contained within the crown of sorrow are seething. Something is coming, Guardian, and we are not prepared. I would ask that you return to the Leviathan, continue to imprison the nightmares aboard it, while I attempt to ascertain what has changed. It is as I feared. We were too late. In spite of our efforts, the lunar pyramid has surged to life, and the depths of the moon roar with this monumental change. Callus has assumed control. But all may not be lost. Callus's psychic imprint is massive. Like a snail coiled within its shell, not all of him has slithered out of the Leviathan and into the pyramid. If we strike now, as one, at the heart of Callus's presence within the Leviathan, we may yet be able to prevent him from turning the power of the pyramid against us. A ritual of this size will require a massive amount of power, and all of our combined efforts. Crow, Keitel, and Zavala will need to coordinate with you. Return to the Leviathan. Gather the reagents we need to perform one last ritual, and perhaps, just perhaps, we will be able to prevent disaster.
So now, we'll check. Okay, so looking at our quests. We got a bound presence? I thought we did. Huh. Alright, well. Let's head to orbit. So this should be interesting. Alright, final ritual. Let's do this. And you know what? And this is the second or third time I've probably mentioned or talked about this. Where I kind of went on a tangent about, I think that was the word I think I used tirade as for the word I used, but I think it was a tangent. I went on a tangent a couple of times about the repetitiveness. I will admit, for this last mission, they did something different compared to a lot of the other stuff. But in a weird way.
No margin for error. Eris, Crow, Keitel, get into position and plant your amplifiers. Guardian, straight down the middle. Go make some noise and draw Callus's forces to you.
Alright.
Amplifier set. Status report.
My amplifier is set, and I am in position in the throne room. My coward of a father is nowhere to be found.
Working on it. I've got a lot of heat back here.
My amplifier is set, but loyalists are converging on my position. Callus is not fooled by our attempt at a diversion.
So basically, I just realized that basically, Callus is I said basically several times. Callus is a spirit, an entity that basically haunts this place now. And now it's our job to stop him.
Do you hear that?
Keitel, what is it? Keitel?
Her comms are being blocked. Guardian, get to the throne room and see what's going on.
We're going there. This video will probably be short with how much progress I've made. I would only have to guess. And if I do things the right way.
Amplifier set! Heading to...
Crow? Crow, report. Eris, can you reach him?
I'm already on my way.
Guardian, stick to the plan. Find Callus and...
Look at the big boy automatons. Are those things blinking? Chantry of the darkest hour.
The others are not with you? Then we do this alone.
After you.
Father! Do you see me? Know yourself!
I'm with you, Keitel. Let's do this.
I see you, daughter. I see your failures, your doubts, your fears. You could have stood at my side, but instead, you chose this.
Shit. I gotta be careful because this is What? There we go.
Mine, but I couldn't resist a chance to be a hero one last time.
Guardian, to
Callus!
me. I will raise defenses.
This is going to hurt. A lot.
Here comes the next set. Come on.
Stand back. There is nothing to fear.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a short video. We did it. We did it. In a short period of time, too.
Where is Callus?
Dead. He has given himself over to the witness. My father is gone.
Safi.
Aww. Again, this hits hard. Because with this season, some of our characters have had to really kind of push through some of the things that have, you know, they've been holding on to. A lot of pain, a lot of sorrow. I think I mentioned that the last time I was playing as one of my characters. Alright, so we gotta make a pit stop over to the helm. Nothing there.
I received your last message. Whatever reckless plan brings you to the reef need not be shared with the Vanguard or the Guardian. But keep me informed at the very least. Those haunted here have found a measure of peace, but it takes more than resolve to overcome one's regrets. We have both felt it. Our moment of pain can weave into the whole of our lives. How it binds us to patterns of thought and action. I have stared into the eyes of my pain made manifest, pleaded with it, raged at it. What face would your nightmare wear? For so long, I believed peace was beyond my reach. No more. I have found it in guiding others down the same path that saved me. But I might allow myself to want more than peace. What? I am not certain. Is joy the word? Might I find that again? You told me to live my life. There is more truth in you than either of us would care to admit. I have something that will be of interest to you. The lunar pyramid remains rife with secrets. Meet with me, and we will discuss what I have found. Take care, Rat.
Even with all our strength, we barely stopped Callus. This was not a victory, Guardian. It has merely bought us time. Callus has become an emissary of the Witness. He is the harbinger of the second collapse. For all we know, this was Callus's plan from the beginning. Luring Guardians to his side with promises of riches and lavishing them with praise. Only to slaughter all of humanity at the behest of a voice whispering to him in the dark. Callus may be gone, but the Leviathan remains, and it will take months to clear out the remaining nightmares and assure it is no longer a threat. But even those efforts may be for naught. We have reached the point of no return. The Witness is near. It is the beginning of the end.
All right. And that's it. Any more dialogue? No. So. We can get over here. And, well, we have no more missions for this character. I will, however, take a few of my weapons. There we go. And I think for now, I'm gonna go ahead and, well, wait a minute. Why does it say speak to Eris?
Even with all our strength, we barely stopped Callus.
Oh.
This was not a victory.
Okay, I was kind of wondering about that. But, anyway, let's go to orbit. We got a lot done. I can tell you that. The next character we're going to play, well, you guys know we've already done the Hunter. We've already done the Titan. So now, we'll get into playing as the Warlock. Really excited. So, without further delay, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.